thank you for the welcome. I really appreciate it. And one thing I would like to add with all this Marine hoorah, let's just be honest. You know, the Marine Corps, as much as we are proud of them, are still not a military branch. Just want to throw that out to the guys. They are Department of the Navy. But I will say, as Chris said, I was nervous about getting up here doing this. Reason why? Last time I actually volunteered for something, well, as you can tell, the Army more or less crippled me for life. Hell, if I'm going to volunteer for stuff anymore. But I will say, as they introduced me, yes, my name's Scott Marley. And everyone has the question, I know, I always get asked. Yes, I am related to Bob Marley. Hey, it's there. And I'll be honest, it's not the Bob Marley you're thinking of. He can't quite sing as well, doesn't have the beautiful hair, and well, not quite as dark, but what can I say? Bob Marley is my father. And I'll be honest, you know, when people ask me about my childhood, it's always difficult because, man, being Bob Marley's son, man, my childhood was such a freaking haze out there. Yeah, some of you got it. But let's be honest. My father, yes, he's like most of the men in my family. I mean, we have a tradition of serving in the United States Army. We go all the way back to actually serving 2 members in the Revolutionary War, for the U.S., I will add. And thank you. Now, what that means is, unfortunately, all of us in my family, we grew up kind of rough childhood because PTSD that all of our family members had. Yeah, it's sad. But I'll leave that for something later. Excuse me, I gotta sit. So, my father, honestly, Bob Marley, joined the Army, went to Vietnam, and I gotta say, all of you here are connected to a service member in one way or another. And talk to them, because the worst thing in the world is actually having soldiers that are bored. Bored soldiers is one of the worst things to ever have. I mean, they organize such things as fight clubs, start taxidermy on the rodents they find around the area. Yeah, that one actually happened. But my father, when he was in Vietnam, he was a combat engineer, and occasionally, you know, you get bored, so what did he volunteer to do? Well, there are heliport right next. The helicopters are flying all the time, you know, just the regular crew, the pilot, co-pilot, and the door gunners. And my father, you know, he's like, hey, these guys are flying all the time. I got some downtime. Let me just hop on the helicopter. Great, you know, he got to see the country, got to see the people more. And, well, it wasn't until later our family found out that those helicopters were spraying Agent Orange. Yeah. And unfortunately, he passed 5 years ago because of results of Agent Orange. Now, when I was in the service, do you actually think I learned anything from my father? And the answer is, yeah, I sure did. You know, when I'm bored, I went over to the helicopters and said, hey, can me and my buddy get a ride? And they're like, yeah, we're just flying around the country. You'll be able to see it. And it was great. Got on that flight and, well, I got to back up. Told my wife about it. She was dead set against me getting on that helicopter. Just like, no, so many things can happen. You can take fire, whatever. And I'm like, babe, relax. And I'll be honest, even with all her concerns, you know, I was young man then, manly man. So I did what every married man did. Yeah, I ignored my wife, ignored her advice. I went on that helicopter ride. It was glorious. So we're coming back. We're only a few hundred feet off the ground, and yeah, catastrophic engine failure. We went down. And for me, did I actually take the time to make peace with God? No, I didn't. Did my life flash before my eyes? No, it didn't. You know what did flash before my eyes, though? My wife just looking like this, going, yeah, I told you so. Thank you. Scott Marley.